guys, how are you? I'm waiting for the stream to load a little bit. I'm going to be starting. Hey Ray, how are you? They are, it depends, some are 20, 25, up 35. It depends, there's tarot and astrology. So it depends on, you know, what you want. There's different kinds. And there's some that merge astrology with tarot. Hey guys, how are you? I'm going to be starting off some free yes and no. I'm going to be doing dice readings for yes and no. These are free. These are complimentary. If you want to book astrology or tarot, you could do it through the shop. Crystal, don't do that. What are you getting? Crystal. No, Crystal, don't steal that. No. Hey guys, how are you? If you want to, if you guys, I'm starting the free yes and no. If you want a yes and no question, if you want that, that's complimentary. If you want to book tarot or astrology, you could do that through the shop. But if you want free yes and no, I'm doing dice readings as a yes and no. It doesn't substitute a real reading, but... Okay, Neffy says, does Jerry regret losing you? Jerry. Number one, I don't believe he has, because this is going to be, this is not exactly over. Maybe you're upset and maybe that's how you feel. This is not exactly over. I see this picking up again. However, I do see him showing behavior that you misread. And also he's the type to help make you jealous as well. What I'm trying to tell you is what your understanding of the relationship, I understand that there's something that caused misery and sadness. That is very clear here. But as far as is the chapter really over, it's not. I see this is going to get more complicated. So what you feel today and what you are thinking, feeling, or the way you are, you know, internalizing what's happening is not, you know, is not exactly what I see here. You know, I have to go by what I see. And this is letting me know that it's not over yet. You're going to hear from this person and you're going to have a phase where you continue to be upset. But you're still drawn toward each other. I'm going to leave it at that. There's a lot more detail, but because I just want to answer your question. Does he feel bad for losing you? I do not believe that's what he's feeling. He's feeling something very, very different. Okay. All right, let's see. Mimi is asking, will you return to Northwest School to finish? That's not a spiritual question. That's a decision you have to make. If you want to enroll, then you enroll. Okay? I answer spiritual questions, not ATM questions, flight questions, machine questions. I don't do that. Okay, let's see. Juliet, will you and Alec end up in a committed relationship? All right, let's find out. So this is Alec. No. No, the answer is no. The thing is that I see that you are very intensely feeling that love though, and you will continue to for a bit. This person has moved on. There's not only changes coming up in this person's life as far as what they do for a living, so their financial focus, but I also see them completely starting something new in their life in a new direction as well. So that connection is not it's not standing. Now, if you can interweave yourself in some way to his focus of what he's doing, you may still open a door there. Anyway, all right, let's see. Katie, is Williams and you eventually going to be friends again? Okay, friends, platonic friends. Okay, so Katie is Williams and you. No, this is not the romantic or the platonic. No. Friendship is a mutual decision, but basically, to cut to the chase here, I'm just I'm looking at the direction of both your life, like if it's connected, and the answer is no, not at this time. There's not enough connection here. Zola, will you spend time with Walter today? Okay, so there's two people, there's two love connections in this reading here. This is not a full reading at all. This is me answering your question, you know, on the fly, like reading the energy of it, okay? And I do get some information. The reason I'm saying that is, like, let's say that I went ahead and did a full tarot. Whatever the deal is, whatever the game is going on, I will tell you immediately. This seems complicated to me, so I'm not going to get into the too much. If there's two people here, one, it seems like you are, there's a lot of, I guess, you know, together opportunity, if you will. Let's just clean it up and say it like that. Whereas there's a connection that was more deeper and there's a problem with it. So that might have ended, or that maybe was, it's troubling. So there's two love connections here. You're asking if you're going to spend time together. This is very disruptive. Whatever you believe this is going to flourish to be, there are curveballs coming up. Let me clearly say it like that. All right, Jessica, will Jeff reach out to you for a reconnection? Jeff's intention for Jessica. No, he has money problems. A lot. There's either trouble where he works, or maybe if it's his own business, there's problems. I don't care what he does, just there's problems there, because I'm giving you the quick answer to your question. I'm not getting into a detailed reading. So to answer your question, no, on the basis that he is, his goal and his focus is not love or relationship right now. So this is maybe it's a good person with shitty timing, but I would say no. I don't think the energy is what it needs to be for a romantic, healthy relationship. No, I don't. All right, Lydia, doesn't your cousin have really love feelings for you? I'm sorry. Okay, I'm not answering ancestral questions. That's very, very inappropriate. If it bothers you, then you can, I guess, book a reading with me, but this is not the place. It's quite disturbing. I'm sorry. Okay, Teresa, is Jason talking to Heather when you leave? What do you mean by talking? What are you getting at? Because my mental focus is not on you, only you, and I'm just tuning into just you. My focus is I'm reading, like skimming the top of the energy for everybody that's asking me a question. You are going to get a real answer. But for me to like completely dedicate time, space, like, you know, everything that, you know, my entire focus on a reading to really look at your story, I'm not doing that. I'm not there. I'm skimming. You can skim read and you can deep read. I'm skimming. So I want just direct questions. It's you know, if you want to pay me for a reading, then you will get my 100%. You want a quick answer, that's what I'm willing to give you, is a quick, important, real answer, but it is limited. So just give me a very clear answer. What are you getting at? Okay, will Georgia be a good place to move? Ray. It could turn into something interesting. There could be some opportunities that you didn't think of before later on, maybe within 3 months of moving. I do see that there's a sense of running away from a problem or a person. It's still a problem. There's a sense of running away from something. Moving does not erase what is not dealt with. If you're looking for the answer to your destined place, I'm an astrologer, but I do not practice astrocartography. I don't know if you buy into that. Some people do. You can give it a whirl if that's what you're looking for. If you're looking for a deep read as to what your life would be like hypothetically moving into Georgia, you can book a reading with me. The answer is no, it's not your ideal move, and there are a lot of obstacles, but it can later on, through push and pull, turn into something balanced. It's not an easy ride, and it's better to deal with the issue that you have at hand where you're at. That's my answer for you. Elizabeth, should you give up on Orlando? Elizabeth in Orlando. Okay, one moment. There's a sense of dishonesty in the question. I'm not going to play games. You know, there's something struck me here. There's two connections here. And sometimes questions are asked inappropriately or to test or to game. I'm not into that. I'm going to leave it as if you want to ask me a straightforward question, you can. This is showing two stories. All right? It's showing two stories very clearly. So I want legitimate questions. Okay, Chris, will Yvonne be back with you? Yvonne. The thing is that they feel that they have tried. This is their perspective. If they feel that they have tried and their efforts are not seen, and you clash with what they are trying to give, you're not going to win your situation. So it's not about what you believe this person feels. It's what this person is telling you they feel. There's effort there, and it's like you are feeling and thinking something completely different. And I can't help you with that. Not on a yes and no. If you want a reading, you can get one. If not, I hope my answer helps you. Okay, Amrit, will Gershon try to save the relationship? Okay, Gershon. The person that Amaret is thinking of, Spirit. Yes. But you know something? Blocking and the ignoring game and blocking is not going to help you. I suggest you take a quick realization on your behavior, on how much you put more obstacles than there should be. You know, you are troubling this from from flourishing. Okay, so this is showing effort and then you acting in a way that goes, making it harder. This means you're not really understanding intention from him. This is when there's a misunderstanding from each other. Okay. All right, let's see. Let's see. Jaya, will Jenna reach out? Okay. Not at this time. There is someone else that wants to be with them. And I don't know if you are aware of it. It seems like you may not be aware. There is an argument here from the past, maybe 3 months ago. And there is something that's brewing and going to be starting in their world, in their life. All right, so be aware of that as well. Okay, Erica, will you graduate in 2026 with your bachelor's degree? That's not a spiritual question. If you went to school and finished your credits and passed your tests and did your homework, then yeah. All right. Okay. Afia, is Adam still interested in Pat? You're asking, I'm not doing that question. You can't lead the question for spirit. They're not machines. So if you want to ask if Adam is still interested in you, that's fine. Your name is Afia and you're asking if Adam is still interested in you. I don't mind asking that at all. But if you want to ask if he's interested in one person, you're making a choice for the person. I don't do that. Those are games. I don't do that. I like a straight up question. Very simple. Okay, Tia, is your man Jules gonna end things with you? All right, that's straightforward. Let's go for it. Tia and Jules. There is a person that has been trying to disrupt your relationship. Okay? That's not cool. You guys have a really intense connection. And what I mean by intense is you're supposed to be together. I'm not reading your astrology, to see how long and if it's, soulmate level or whatever, but this is still registering as a deep connection regardless. And someone has been disrupting the harmony. So this is important. This needs to be addressed. I wonder why you let someone wedge their way so deeply between both of you to cause some damage. Yeah, well, it's something that is still comes from people. So I never said third party. I said there's a person. And a person can be a boss or a friend or a person that has a problem that he's being, more attentive to. somewhere in there, there is something that is wedging its way. So no matter what you want to call it, it's still something in the way that shouldn't be there. So the couple, person A and person B, should prioritize this, instead of whatever can be in the way. So that is something that I'm seeing here. So the answer is no, it's not finished. And no, this is something that needs to be worked on and fixed. All right, let's see. Emily, should you give up on your relationship with Franz? I believe so, yes. I believe so. Yes, because the answer is yes. There's something dishonest. Okay? And I also get this feeling that there's activity in a geographical place that's different. So I don't know if you live farther or what the deal is with distance, but that as well. Okay? There's something encircled that is more in his world, which lets me know that you're shut out of it. So that's not a healthy dynamic with, a relationship. Let's see. User 1703. Should you give up on your relationship with Brandon? Oh, you're welcome, sweetheart. Thank you. No, not at all. Be patient, understanding. Not at all. No. Be patient, and then try to connect with this person as much as you can, especially understanding, their sun sign very well, All right, let's see. All right, let's see. Pat, is Adam still interested in Pat? Okay, let's see. Adams and Pat. Adams. The thing is that Pat, there's someone else in the picture. There's someone else in the picture. They're not completely not interested, but their focus has been redirected. So this is the kind of thing where you need to, if you don't believe what I'm saying, I always encourage a person, do your homework, do your research. I'm a stranger online, so I don't expect you to believe me, and you need to have clarity in your life. So this is where I tell you to be, hyper vigilant, because you seek and you will find, if you understand what I'm saying to you. Yeah, it's a complicated one. You're not the only one on the radar, in this situation. Yeah, no problem. Okay, let's see. Alaya, will Dylan reach out to you? Yes. It seems like they're long distance. I would say that this is a connection that you need to keep focusing on, manifesting, trying, aligning with it. Put your effort in it, kind of thing. It's slow. It's slow paced. You gotta feel it out. Remember, this is not a full love reading, so I'm not able to really tell you how it's gonna play out. But it's enough to tell you the energy where I would say give it a shot. There's a deep connection there. It just needs it needs room to grow. So I would say don't give up on that. It looks like it has potential. All right. All right, let's see. Pineapple's asking, is your relationship with Wendell, did it end? Well, you would know if it ended, but I see what you're asking. Okay, let's see. Wendell, sorry. It hasn't ended, no. There's still a great connection there, but there's someone that is trying to grab his, focus into another situation. And if that happens, it can kind of sever the tie with you eventually. So this is the time where you really tighten things up and talk. A lot of communication, a lot of openness, okay? So there's no shift in focus. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Okay, let's see. Ms. Jayo. MJ, do you see if you will hear from Jeff? Okay, let's see. I think so. You have to be careful. I believe so, yes. I believe you still have to try. What do I mean by try? I mean, call him with your mind. So when I say try, when a person, wants a job or a relationship, you have a soul inside you. You have an energy inside you. You're capable of your own level of magic. Every human being that has a life inside them has power to a certain level, right? And we're not talking magical practice. We're not talking about any of those things. We're just talking about the warmth and power of your own soul, your own manifestations, okay? When I say try, it means think about him, manifest it, focus, you wish for it, put your effort into it. If there's a place he's going to be, try to be there. I'm not saying be creepy and in his face. I'm just talking about just when you try, when you have effort for something, like just when you want a job, and you want to work at that one place, you try, you dress up a certain way, you say hi to people, put your effort, because this connection can grow. But here's the caveat. This person seems broken to me as far as wanting a relationship. It looks like they went through a breakup that was bad. They may not believe that they can really have a good relationship. There's a certain amount of pessimism to this person. So you have to be patient and you have to try. That way, at least you know that you exhausted whatever effort you had, and time can move on and you can say, well, that at least you tried your hardest, right? Walking away from something and then you regret. So you have to sometimes live through things. If you want a deep dive, I can do a mind read on him. I do offer that. But these are the answers that you're getting. It's clear you're getting a real honest answer. You don't have to book a reading, but understand I am not gonna give a full mind read or read on the love story in a dice cast. It doesn't work that way. I have to really see the story. I use astrology and tarot. All right, thank you so much. Hope my answer helped you. Okay, Tam, does Chris have good intentions, either me or his what? Either me? I don't know what that means, but okay. I guess I see what you're saying. So, is he happy with you? I'll just ask that. So there's something that you are doing that is upsetting him. This is either the company that you're keeping is not what he wants, or you're talking to someone that he doesn't want, or you're closer to family, or something that you're doing that's upsetting him that is making him just not stand the situation. You are causing him to be unhappy and to leave. And he's complained about it before. So you either can turn a blind eye to it or play the dancing game. So it's a rough answer, but it's what you asked for. So whatever's bothering him, if you want that connection, fix it. It's in your hands. Okay, D, does Dan want to be in a relationship with you? Yes. But the person has someone else that they're not over. So you are either a very important rebound, or there's a lot of positivity for him in the relationship, but at the same time he just can't shake the past. So before you got into anything with this person, I think you should have done a little homework, because now you're very much in feelings and you have, something going with this person, and this person's past is not erased from their minds, and that's not a good thing. You can't start something fresh with someone if you're not fresh and new yourself. So unfortunately, that haunts the past, Thank you so much, Leaf. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay. So I hope that helps. So Emma's asking, you've never seen this before. What practice is this? What do you mean? Like what practice? I'm an astrologer specializing in love. And I'm also a tarotist. I'm a psychic medium as well. You mean as far as divination? Like what I use? I use over 64 methods of divination. Sometimes I scry on crystal ball. I read bones, stones. I cast 55 crystals at once. I'm a runist. I read dice. I don't know. Oh, dice is what you're asking about? Oh, okay. Yeah, so dice, because these are made of genuine gemstone crystal, that makes it lithomancy. But in reality, dice reading, which I do, is astrolomancy. So it is a form of divination. But the fact that it's crystals as well is lithomancy, and it's cast. So this is kind of like a double, because dice can be made of plastic or resin. So this is kind of like a, but I guess in method, this would be more, the way that I read it would be true to astrolomancy, which is what this would be. Okay. All right. It's a lot of math. So you have to like add and subtract and multiply all at once from each other. And through the years, you get fast at it. Okay. So let's see. Helen, is your ex Mateos going to pull? Okay, I see what you're saying. You're wanting to know if you're going to have this confrontational. Yeah. I'm willing to do that on a mind read. Okay, so I can see his intentions. If you want the free answer, I will answer you as far as his energy, okay? If you would like me to answer that instead. So that's what I can do with on the fly. So these can be done very deeply. Readings with dice can be done just as deep as tarot. But the way I'm doing the yes and no, it's just the energy of the question. So let me ask on his intention with the energy. So this lets me know that you are going to be approached. It's better if I put it down because that way they don't move. It lets me know that the person you're asking about is going to have this kind of tricky, hidden way of approaching you through someone else. And this other person is going to kind of report back to this person. So this is kind of tricky, it's not open, it's not legit, it's not honest, because when a person wants to tell you something, they just say it themselves. And this kind of seems like a game to me, kind of like a little bit of an emotional setup. So you're going to be approached by someone that's not the person, but the person was set up by the person, you know, and then they report back. And another thing as well, there's money is going to play a role in this by you either getting something returned to you, or you have to put money back into something. There's a rotation. There's some kind of weird financial rotation. I'm going to buy this. No, I'm returning it. No, I'm giving it back to you. Or can you get this instead? There's something that's switched here. Like if, let's say you were responsible to buy something. See, it's not a full reading, so I can't tell you all those details. But I'm doing the best I can on the fly with a free yes and no. All I'm telling you, just look, you know what? Take it like this. This is my answer. You are correct in what you feel as far as what they're up to, but you're off on seeing how far it's going to go and what their method is. So I would say be weary of this person, say very little, and just put on just like a smiley face just until you can really see what's going on. Because there's something not legit here. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Let's see. 1 second. So I do have people that booked a reading. If some of them are waiting, let me check 1 second to make sure. 1 moment here. Okay. All right, I have a reading here from Tamara. And there's a couple of people that booked, but I know they're not on here right now, right? Let me see. Oh, okay. One second here. Oh, okay. You didn't put a there's no question with this one? Oh, okay. I thought that this one has the you know where you could put the question on the bottom? I don't see the answer. I guess this one doesn't have the question format on it. Some do, some don't, where the person can write their question. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so this one is for Tamara. Okay, Tamara, no problem. So I called you Leaf, but I actually do have a client that I actually call Leaf. Is that you, or I just Leaf because I called you Leaf? Because you have a leaf emoji. Okay, so do you, I do know Lyris. Okay, no problem. So I do know where I'm going. Can you tell me the energy with that? You can, yeah, I don't mind. So if it's free, but I'm doing stuff, you guys got to give me a clear question. If it's a paid reading, then you can be vague. I don't really care. You know, so if you want to ask me a clear question, not one that sounds like a riddle, not when I'm doing free work. When I'm doing paid work, you can be riddle, you can say nothing at all. But free ones, I like a straight question. Okay, let's see. So I'm going to be focusing on Tamara. Is that how you say your name, sweetheart? Yes, I want to make sure. Yes. Let's see. What is your question? So this is a mind read. So it is not a question based. This is just a mind read on a person. how can I help you? In other words, what I'm trying to say to you is, who is the mind read on? You don't have to say their full name, but like their first name or their sign. So for example, George Taurus, whatever. So I'm not, okay, so, okay. Guys, hold your questions. And if you have to visit the, you know, the place that you can't say, where it's the main page, then everything is on the main page. You can't even say L-I-N-K and then B-I-O. You can't say it. You can spell it, but you can't say it. So, okay. Hold all questions, guys, because I'm doing a paid reading right now. Okay, so not a problem. So this one is on Chris the Leo. All right, let's do it. I'm going to start off with an energy check on the relationship itself. All right, so the energy that I'm getting right away is that it seems that you are very focused on this person, but it's almost like this person's energy is moving faster than you're able to catch up with that connection. So kind of like what, you know, it's like when you're trying to connect, maybe go out, maybe talk more, maybe stabilize seeing each other, you know, there's like an effort from your part. And it seems like they're not reaching you back with that level of effort. So this could be a crush, but there's something odd about it, because it doesn't feel like a crush to me per se. Because unless it's something that clogs the past, because there's something that's quite pivotal that either this person either reminds you of someone in the past that didn't work out, or maybe there was something where you met in the past and it just didn't happen, and now it started to happen. Whatever that is, I'm going to do a tarot. I'm going to do a mind read. So this focus is not really on the relationship itself. It's on what he is thinking, what he is feeling, just like the description of the reading of what it says. So things will come up as far as relationship stuff, but mainly my focus is his thoughts, okay? Not the relationship itself. So that's the difference between a relationship reading and a mind read. All right, that being said, hold on 1 second, please. All right, so this starts off with a story, even though my focus is what he's thinking and what's on his mind. This is where we're starting. Let's take it from there. I'm going into the past a little bit, okay? This talks about when your enthusiasm for this person began, and it talks like, you know, it basically, it's like someone with, like maybe the mother or a sibling that's older, or someone who has like a wisdom to share, kind of like stirring you not to. So there's almost like there's disruptive advice here, like when someone says, you know, no, don't focus on him. There's something there that is significant enough to mention. This also talks about a person's mother, so it could be his mother's opinion also being something that's heavily considered in this situation. Okay. So this is telling me a little bit about the story of you before you focused on this person, okay? Before you focused on the Leo. I'm not going to get into this part. I'm going to change the direction this is heading in. I want to focus on him, and it's telling me a lot more about you and probably why you have focused on him so much. And it comes from what your heart has been through. So I'm not going to get into that. There was a situation where you were kind of stuck and felt you couldn't get out of, and it gets heavy into that, and I don't want to go in that direction. So I'm going to go in a different one, okay? 1 second here. Okay. Give me 1 second, guys. There's like 10 messages. Right now I'm in a reading, okay, guys? Let's see. Sorry about that. Already I can tell you that he's not in love with you as of right now, okay? So this seems like, you know, you still have to work at it, and I'm going to be telling you more in the direction that it's going to be headed in. A lot of times when things are brand new, you got to give it a chance. So Leo men are very delayed in how they fall in love and the intensity at which they pursue the female. So they won't say a lot. They won't explain a lot. They're hard to read, sort of. It depends on what kind of conversation you strike with them. But there's little things that you need to watch out for. So they're very much into family. They're very much, they have a very big respect for their mom and also mothers. A lot of things, they're very gentlemanlike in many ways, even if they have a rude side. There's things about them that are very traditional. So he's not in love with you yet, but this seems very early. So you gotta give me a chance. So I'm gonna be quiet a minute. I'm gonna focus, like I said, on his mind. Some things have been coming up heavy about fears about you and your past with love. A bit unfortunate. So there's not been a lot of luck in that department thus far. And those are the things that I've been getting. So I wanna, you know, sometimes when a person comes in with a lot of emotional, kind of like anxiety, I guess, it kind of starts clogging what they want to know. And I think that's what's, you know, yeah. Oh, I thought that was you. I'm sorry, Tamara. Hey guys, hold your questions. I'm reading, but I read Helen's thinking it was Tamara's. What's a mind read? It's exactly that. It's when I read the mind of the person that's intended, okay? But like I said, sometimes I tap right into it, and sometimes the energy of the person asking for the reading starts coming up, their story right before. So you got to give me a minute because it's, you know, 1 second here. Okay. I'm going to tell you a situation. I don't know where this is. I don't know your life. Let me know where it's placed. This is either going to be something that happened to him and it affected you, or something that happened to you and it affected him. Okay? This part of the story, as I start to get into his mind, is telling me about when a person is holding on to revengeful feelings. It's like when they are, like, picture somebody like at work and they're looking at a coworker and they're not saying anything or starting any beef or problems, but they are kind of thinking, you know, like a hidden enemy. Like, I'm not going to start problems right now, but I feel vindictive. And this is like when a situation causes an ending to something. I am not dealing with this person anymore. I am completely, you know, X-listing them. This is a problem between two people. And then the problem is that there's indecisiveness because of it. So for example, let's say that he's in a scenario and maybe his parents are divorcing. That would also fall into this. It's when a person is feeling untrusting of someone and something drastically ends, and then the person is left thinking, you know, I don't trust this anymore. I don't know what I'm going to do, and this is causing me indecisiveness. So 1 foot in, 1 foot out. It can be an X as well, although this wouldn't be a lovey-dovey part of the story. This is when suspicion is high and revenge is on the tongue, okay? So very strong. This also talks about a person completely deciding to withdraw. I will not speak to them. I'm ghosting them. I'm going to just keep to myself and not explain thoughts. This is a troubled area here. And it's significant because this opens the reading with his mind, with his thoughts. If you're not aware of what this story is about, which I find odd because this is very strong, and if you're involved with him or you very much like him or trying to be involved with him, you would be aware of something like this. Maybe not every detail, but at least something. This is a problem that he has most recently encountered. Are you aware of this? If not, I'm going to keep going because there's obviously more to tell. Okay, you're not aware? Okay. All right, I'll tell you the details and then I'm going to keep going. This has to do with a friend of his. In the current time, right now, so this lets me know something that, I don't know anything about you and this person, but based on the energy I'm seeing here, this is not boyfriend energy. That means that this might be someone that you want to get with. I'm not sure yet. I have just started the line read, but it seems like this is someone that you want to get with and you're not with yet. It's like you want to get to that point. You're talking for 3 months and you don't know about this. That's a problem. Unless you're talking, some couples, well, you're not a couple yet, but some people talk, and if they're going to school and working full time, I have seen it, where they can be as close as they possibly can. And there's nothing, a person is not a robot. You can only do what you can, and you can be as close as you can. Some people, they're very, very, very close and see each other every day. And some people, they have to fit into their busy schedule. If you're talking for 3 months, but you're not in a relationship yet, that's not a good sign per se. And he's not in love with you yet. That I can tell you. But like I said, talking, there's different levels of talking. Talking to see if you date. And then there's people that are talking to see if they finally commit. And then there's people that talk seeing if they're going to move in together. You know, there's a whole thing there. I would say that if you're talking for 3 months and you're not aware of this problem that he's having, that's a problem. Let me tell you what it is. It's something with a very close friend of his, and it's a betrayal. And there's an ultimatum that he has been forced to make, that he is now not wanting to deal with it because he's offended. Okay? So this is what this is about. So I don't know how much you know about his friends. If you think that a mind read is completely going to be on love and you, that's not what mind reads are. If a person is dealing with pain and stress like this, that's going to be the first thing that comes up. If they have financial problems that are driving them nuts and they can't sleep, that's the first thing that's going to come up. And this is a problem with a friend. Someone that he trusted and someone that betrayed him. Okay? And it's a guy, so it's a friend. That's the first thing. Let's move on. Okay, there's something that you do with your hands or a craft. No, it's I understand what you're telling me. I understand that you feel that that's what it is, but it's not. I respect that, and it seems very valid. And if you want, I can look into how he feels about that, but that's not what this is. This is another friend. This is not a flirtation stressor. This is when a person is genuinely hurt by the trust they put in someone. I don't mean like a coworker that's going to flirt. This isn't about flirting. This is about a friendship that he feels betrayed. Unless the friend you're talking about had a genuine friendship. If they had a real genuine friendship, not just a coworker, oh, let's all get along because we have to work here. This is where the angle that he's taking from it is, there's nothing he can do but to just not trust and not deal with the person. So this is when a person just reserves and not feeds the problem. It's interesting because Leos being a fire sign, you would think they're hotheads, and they're not actually. They make really good managers. They make really good fathers. They are very much in control, and they're not going to be a loudmouth in every situation. They're not going to go crazy like with temper. It takes a lot, when they lose their cool, unless they're drunks or have some kind of problem like that. But even then, a lot of them maintain their composure in a lot of settings, especially in the workplace. Anyway, the next thing that's coming. So you understand that it's not just about flirtation. This is when a person is, feels betrayed. It's not about you. This is about him. I think that's where you're confused. Yeah, you think that the mind read I'm telling you about him is all about... Okay. But this isn't about the ex. This isn't about... The part that I started this reading on is not about the Leo and his love life. It's about the Leo and how he felt betrayed by a friend who he genuinely thought was a friend, and how awkward he feels about it. That's where I think you and I are getting a little confused. You think that everything that I'm about to say is how it relates to romance, because you're important and you're getting the reading and you want to know about your love interest and you demand, which you deserve. You deserve everything on his mind to be about you, and I don't blame you. But unfortunately, what started this out is a worry separate from you, okay? Now let's get into something that is about you. This tells me that based on his opinion, so this is why mind reads are tricky for the client to understand. I'm going to describe something about you in his mind, the way he sees it, his perception, which is different than the way you perceive he sees you, okay? This lets me know that there's something traditional that you do with your hands, maybe like a hobby or some kind of craft, or something that maybe you let him know maybe your grandma taught you, or your mom. There's something where in the preliminary stages of getting to know each other, you let him know, and it kind of formed the formation of how he thinks of you. Do you do something with your hands? Do you do something that is like a craft or something, and he sees you in this way. You put a lot of love and effort into something that you do with your hands. And this also talks about very soon. Oh, and by the way, he sees you as very traditional. Also someone who is very family oriented. There are men that date women that are very fiery and they're very like a wild child, and they'd rather like backpack anywhere and be like, dangerous. And then there's women that are very traditional. I mean, there's a lot of areas in between, but the light he's seeing you in is more family oriented and traditional. That's what I'm trying to say to you. Homely, and someone who maybe was raised a little more sheltered. That's how he sees you. There's a decision that has to be made very soon that's pretty drastic. And he's wondering if you're his destiny. Maybe not in those exact terms, because not all men believe in destiny. That's more an emotional, spiritual thing. Some guys are very linear in the way they think. But they could be spiritual and not realize they're spiritual. But all I'm trying to say to you is that he is contemplating, he's worried, he's tense about something happening, maybe 2026, 2027, something within that time frame, where he's wondering if the direction that you're headed in and he's headed in will combine or collide. So that lets me know that the things you have talked to him about, some things are long-term plans. And there's some things that are happening where he doesn't know if he fits into that. This means he's worried and questioning how much you fit each other. So that's another thing you need to understand. Let's see, if you're a Leo, if he's a Leo, I'm wondering if you're a mixture of earth and air, because there's a misunderstanding here at some point. At some point down the line, there's something that's not communicated right. You're not seeing his inner feelings. You're just going by what he shows on the outside. Like, you're good at reading the facial expression and the tone of the voice, but you're not good at looking in between. There's thoughts in here of him being very methodical. So he might be a Leo that has some Virgo in him. So he might be maybe a cusper, the way that he thinks. Okay. All right, so this is a little bit of a hard reading, okay? And I'm sorry for that, but you came to me for what he thinks and what he feels, okay? And I can't change that. Maybe you can. Maybe there's ways you can use this reading to flip it around. Maybe, you can use it as a tool next time you talk to him. Let me tell you what else he's thinking. So the way that he sees it is he is extremely goal-oriented. Usually I see that with a combination between Leo and Virgo and Capricorn, but he's not a Virgo, but he could have a little bit. This is male Capricorn, so there's a couple of things in his chart that might be Capricorn. So he's extremely goal-oriented and money-making, not like Sagittarius that jumps at the opportunity, but instead one that has a long-term plan. And he seems very much like he wants to get to a certain spot in his life, and he's not satisfied until he reaches it. He cares very much about, the way that he is looked at, perceived, and the more he's not satisfied where he's at. This talks about him feeling like the way that and this is the hard part, and I'm trying to say it gently, but you can talk to him about it in a sweet way. You can bring it up and say, have you ever thought this about me? Or do you think this, or however way you feel comfortable, if you feel that you need to let it out in the open, right? He feels that you, at a minimal level, you're not as organized as him, and it bothers him. So for example, he might find you very pretty and very sweet, with traditions that he loves and values that he loves, but your everyday way of being seems to him a little bit unhinged for him. So let's say that you do, I'm just going to pick an example, all right, to give you an idea. Let's say that you don't do your books or your accounting. Let's say you do it in your head. Oh, I spent this and this. Oh, whatever. It's got to be like that. Yeah, I'll figure it out. It'll post tomorrow. And he's going, she didn't balance her checkbook. Oh, my God. So it's just an example. It just doesn't literally mean I'm saying that. It's just an idea of how a person, there's things that you do or your way of being that to him, he doesn't like it. So when a man starts to get involved with a woman and he likes her on many levels, he's already categorized her as girlfriend possible, right? Not just a good time. And he's thinking long term and hasn't made a decision. There's things that are holding him back. And you can ask any man that. This is when he's saying, if this goes deeper and further, there's things that I'm not cool with. I would have to deal with the rest of my life. I don't want that. I'm unsure about this. I don't like this. He's seeing flags. All right. So that's something. So what you would say is, I'm not trying to tell you to say this. I'm just giving you an idea, food for thought, because I believe in, opening things up and talking about it. Right. So you could say you had a nightmare. Or you could say a friend told you this and it worried you, or you saw a movie and whatever, however you want to address it, or don't address it at all. But if you want to, you can say something like, is there some stuff about me that, you would you could see I could improve in? How about you? Let's talk about you, something like that. I don't know the level of closeness, but at some point, don't you think if you're talking to somebody and you're falling for them and you want a future with them, don't you think you have to talk about it at some point? There's elephants in the living room here, is what I'm trying to tell you. And if he is not concerned with the flirtation, but concerned with if this is the friendship, let me ask if this is the friendship guy. The flirtation guy that you're talking about. Okay, this is a family member. Okay, that's why it hits so hard. Okay, so it's not the guy that you think of at work. All right. Okay, so now that that was settled, because that was bothering me, not knowing who the person was. Okay, let's go back to the flags. The flags that I'm seeing here is that he's already questioning if he can be with you long term. Why? Because there's things about you that he is, it's not tuning in with what he wants. And the other part is seeing that there's something about you that he's already judging, and it has to do with your relaxed way of being. So there's something that you are not as responsible as he is in the way he does things. So you got to think back to simple conversation on the phone or a text. And you say something as simple as, no, when I get around to it, or no, I was doing this, but this happened. And then people start getting little bits of information, little bits of ideas, and sometimes they're wrong in their perception. Even on the stream, like I'll say something like, I don't know, that orange juice was bitter. My mouth tasted bitter. People are going to think I drink orange juice all the time. Like, people are like that. Like, they'll hear one little thing and it's like, oh, that's it. That's all it is. So I'm trying to tell you that this man that you're into and you're talking to, you're not aware of a pain he's feeling with a family member. That lets me know there's not enough connection. Number two, there's already he feels something pressing that's going to be happening in the future that he feels that he has to make a decision at some point, and you're not seeing pressure in that point. That's odd. And then also there's something he's already seeing that financially you're more relaxed in than him. Oh, okay. Okay, was the father thing recent? Because this is a fresh type of, unless it was the anniversary of something, like a birthday or something that kind of reawoke. I mean, the holidays did happen. Okay. So the father part might be, it's not the ex. It's nothing of the ex. Oh, a year and it was the holiday. Okay, it could be the father. But it's rough though. It's very, very rough. It's not just like, yeah, okay. So there's two things here that you gotta, okay. So the next thing for you to understand is that he's going to be writing to you. I don't know how you communicate. It doesn't really matter. As long as you are aware of it. I don't need to know those details. But I'm just letting you know that this is in written form. So written could be pen and paper, which nobody does that anymore. So obviously it would translate to text. Okay. So word by finger. So letters by finger. So that's what it means. He's going to be communicating, expressing to you something about a part of the story that maybe you're not aware of about the ex. This is the first time that the ex shows up in the reading. You've mentioned his ex a couple of times already. This is the first time it's surfacing in this mind read. And this talks about abandonment and what he really thought to do, which we're not going to talk about here, you know, where his emotions really went and the number it really did on him that he did not want to express to you. So this is trauma, and he may even have PTSD from it. I'm not here to diagnose or anything like that. I'm just mentioning in passing that this seems very much in tune with the steps of PTSD from that traumatic experience, okay? So this is pretty bad. So I could see his trust issues. That's not good. Maybe this is why he's very slow in sealing the deal with you. That's possible, you know. Family, abandonment, betrayal. Yeah, okay. I'm getting an understanding here in his mind. This is a very positive note in his mind read, and this lets me know that despite everything he's been through, he is a pretty interesting man. He's very happy, or I should say he's not in a happy state completely, but despite what he's been through, he knows how to be happy. Well, hold that thought, because I have something to say about what you just said. But let me go back to remember that I don't base my readings on opinions. I don't give relationship therapy or coaching. I am a psychic and I stay in my lane. So the things I evaluate are spirit-led only. That's how it should be. I do have wisdom and experience as a person. I will relay my thoughts maybe at the end. But I completely, I'm consulting the spiritual, and I don't try to go into opinions or any of that shit, because I don't know you. So what I'm telling you is, what you need to know about this, things for you to think about and consider, okay? Keep that in mind, because people use readings as therapy, and it's not. It's insight into the future. That's what it is on a spiritual level. Okay, this is showing me that besides him having a lot of stress in his past and on himself, he knows how to let go and be happy, which means that there's a lot of health there. Okay, there's a lot of balance there, because this is a person that still feels enthusiastic. And one of the things that he holds on to is faith. So this lets me know that for someone being a little bit hard-edged, detached, and a little bit skeptical for some things, he's also very spiritual without realizing it. Or maybe he does, because this is talking about faith. And this is talking about how he just has this inner knowing that he knows things will get better. And he can be incredibly enthusiastic and positive, which I think is very refreshing. Thank you so much, Beatrice. So that's important to know, because you can't just, paint someone to just be completely negative. This is very healthy. This also lets me know that he, despite the fact, he has a very winner mentality. I'm going to accomplish this. Things will get better. I want to keep trying in this direction. It's not, oh, woe is me, let me give up, everything sucks. No, he's not. He's he really picks himself up. So this is, and there's a lot of belief in knowing that things will get better. I think that's important. What I'm not understanding here, because this is not, I'm not reading on your relationship, I'm reading on what his thoughts are. I'm trying to figure out in his mind why he goes from the traumatic stuff that bothers him to the confusion about you, and then he's very positive as well. So let me see something. I would say as far as you saying that it's like you're in a relationship, I don't mean to be disrespectful by any means. It's your relationship with him. I'm not judging it. But based on how I am reading him, this doesn't seem like a relationship to me. This seems like you are a attractive female that he is engaged in lots of dialogue where he's indirectly using you as a therapist. And I'm sorry that I'm saying that, but this doesn't scream to me passion. It is not screaming to me that he is displaying the behavior of what a man does when he's in love, of what a man does when he's crazy about a woman. I don't see that. I see that there's this mixed signal, don't know what to call it, and you're more his nurse than his girlfriend. I don't see what you're talking about. And if you believe in the facade, that means you can be wasting your time. Anyway, I'm going to call it like it is. You're going to leave him. He's going to tire you. Just so you know. That's what's going to happen. So, okay, the next thing that you need to know is that there's a possibility of you missing a very good romantic relationship with a man that's interested in you if you hyper focus on this man. Okay? Ball's in your court, but as the next months come into the new year, you will understand what I mean. And this is a connection that is something that you should focus on. Of course, it's up to you, but this is a man that's going to give you right away what you're looking for, what you deserve, that focus, that connection, the interest. If you jeopardize that connection because you're focused on the Leo, that's then the story will change. All right, so I just had to let you know that. All right. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to, I never open this up for questions, but in your particular case, if the reading has gone a little bit in a different direction. So if you would like to close the reading with any question that you have, oh, hey, Leaf, yeah, you're next. If you would like to close the reading with any question that you have so that you don't leave with any cliffhangers or any misunderstandings or anything heavy, please, by all means, if I can address it, let me know, Tamara, if you have anything for me to add to this reading. Any area of question, of confusion that you might have. So for example, maybe you want to know what he feels about you. Or maybe, did I say that in any part of my reading? You and I have a major disconnection, like miscommunication issue. When and that happens. Not every person is going to understand someone else. You know, I get that and I understand that. I read for people all over the world, different ages, different backgrounds. Some people get me immediately, and some people it's like I'm speaking backwards and in reverse. It's not your fault. It's not my fault. I just see that when I speak, I confuse you, and I think I'm being direct, but to you, it's like I never said that. I never said he has no connection to you. In fact, that's what you have very strongly. You have a strong connection to him because you're talking. What I'm saying is that in his mind, he has not decided that he is not in love with you. He should have been in love with you right away. A man falls in love with a woman in 14 days. The release of vasopressin takes over the bloodstream after probably two stimuli, and he falls in love. Okay? It does not take a man 3 months to fall in love. Number one. Number two, if he has to talk to you for 3 months and he is not absolutely crazy about you and pursuing you and doing what you want, when a man falls in love, he wants to know your favorite color. He wants to know what your favorite food is. He wants to know what you love to do. This is a man who is loving that you are into him. This is a man that's loving that you comfort him and you are there for him to use as a therapist. When a man is in love, the last thing he wants to do is tell the woman, the apple of his eye, his problems. In fact, he won't say much about his problems at all. Not maybe a couple of things to bond with her. But he wants to seem like Mr. Man, like I am the man, I'm the shit. I don't want to diminish myself in her eyes. He's using you as a therapist, sweetheart, and you don't see it. And this is where you might, hate my guts and think I suck, and that's fine too. But I'm just being honest with you. No one's saying he doesn't find you attractive. No one's saying he doesn't like you. No one's saying that he's not into you, but he's not into you. Because this is not a treatment that, and you're waiting on him to fall madly in love with you for him to just start treating you the way that you desire. You said a Taurus, right? Okay, so you're very romantic and you love to be wined and dined. And you're waiting to be treated like the princess in an earthy kind of way. But, this is not happening with this man. It's not going to happen. He's going to continue to tell you his problems. Oh, I missed you. Oh, let me tell you. And then 3 hours of your life. And then another week and another month of your life goes by. And you're going to get tired of this shit. You're going to say, dude, call a therapist. Bye, Felicia. I'm getting out of here. So, he's going to tire you. And not only that, there's going to be some hot tamale that shows up in your destiny line that is interested in you, digs you, and is willing to do what a man needs to do. And you can really ruin that connection because you're going to be hyper-focused on this guy. So that's why I'm trying to tell you, wake up and smell the coffee. So if you don't see it, one of the things you can do that I recommend is surround yourself by the people that absolutely love you, that you trust, and ask them, what do you think about this guy? And 9 times out of 10, the people that are closest to you are going to say, he's an idiot, get rid of him. What are you doing? You're wasting your time. You don't have to believe the strange psychic you don't know on the internet. You can go by the validity of the people that love you and surround you and have logic. Your girlfriends, your friends, your siblings, your whatever, cousins, mom, whatever support system that you have. They're going to look at the situation and evaluate it and say, what are you doing? That's what I'm trying to tell you. But you're very much into waiting for this man to turn into a Prince Charming. Yeah, actually, yes. Yeah, I have the Irish curl. Very perceptive. A lot of people don't know that. 2% of people have curly hair. Yes. Oh, yeah, yes. I'm not fully Irish, but so I'm sorry, Tamara. I wanted to tell you, what does he feel about you in a romantic sense? Okay, well, I'll answer that. Give me a second. Okay. Okay, so this is going to prove to you how, I don't know if it's going to prove it to you, but it should prove it to you, how he thinks of you as the therapist, as the person that he gets to unleash, who will listen to his crap for free. Okay, check this out. This is what he mostly thinks about you romantically, how he is enthralled by you. You are a person, and this is a rune cast, so I can't just lift the runes and show you, but you know, it's the runes, okay? He loves that you are able to evaluate people and groups. You are able to give an opinion. When he tells you a story, you give a feedback. You also have a part of your personality that has a lot of strength of character. You're not someone who's weak or easily goes with the flow. You have spunk, you have fire, you have riz, whatever you want to call it, okay? He likes that you're able to be strong with words when you need to. When you react to something, you have a lot of fire in the way that you react. And you're also able to shine a light on something right away and pick out what seems like bullshit. So you talk to him and you evaluate things, you listen, and the perspective that you give him helps him, is very insightful. You don't just sit there going, oh, wow, that's interesting. No, you're like, wow, why'd they do that? Well, that doesn't make sense to me. Well, they're full of crap. You know, like you're very, very lively. And you're also able to give him advice right away on what he should be doing. So this is a man using you as a therapist. Okay? Point blank, that's what it is. And you're insightful and you are benefiting him. Meanwhile, he's wasting your time because he doesn't do a damn thing for you. If he's your friend, you wouldn't be missing the romance in your life. I mean, can we be real? So anyway, that's the reading, okay? If you need me to clarify anything, let me know. But I think it was pretty clear in what I said. And don't forget about that love connection coming in that he could jeopardize. Or I should say, if you let him jeopardize it. So Just saying. All right. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Okay. Just stuff for you to think about so he doesn't waste your time. All right, sweetheart. All right, guys. How are you? Happy New Year. All right, Leaf, are you ready? I should ask you, is there something specific you want from this reading? This is the relationship issue. Happy New Year. This is Sparkle. How are you? It's been a long time. How you doing? Okay. Fair enough. So this is to evaluate a problem. I have no qualms about doing that. Not at all. No issue. I'm happy to do that. This goes a lot into the past because there's a lot of past that we have covered in this reading. I'm going to just peek and see where it starts naturally. This is going to be what I call a hot spot or a hot zone. And we'll take it from there. And if I need to change course of whatever it is, I will. If there's something specifically you want me to address, you can let me know as well. I still want to do an organic dive in to see where we start. And this is to fix an issue. So, last I heard, he's visiting you, I think, in January or something. That's what I remember. Something about a flight. That's all I remember, but if things have changed, don't worry about it. This has nothing to do with the itinerary or anything else. This is just to fix an issue or maybe prevent one. So I usually have people meet me on the place where it's uncensored that we can't say, but just for now, we're just going to keep it on here. And just to make easier time. All right, here we go. Oh, good to hear. How's your doggy? He's big now, huh? I remember when he was a puppy. I have a kitten. A little kitten. Glad you're doing good, sweetheart. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? This. I'm going to do a icebreaker relationship check. So this is the Scorpio with Leaf. I'm bad with names, but I remember his sign. All right. I'm going to, I don't like the energy check. Let's talk about it. My mind is going into checking for something with astrology, but I don't think we need to at this point. I already see what's happening. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. Let me go over the dice reading first, okay, before we get into the tarot. What is that you mostly want to get out of this reading? I never ask that to anybody, but in your particular case, you know, I just read and that's it. You know, you buy the reading that it says the title and I just read it and that's it. But in your particular case, this is different. The reading is to address a relationship problem, give you some tips on it, see what Spirit says, and, you know, you do what you need to do. And I give you the, you know, the overall, how to address it and what's going on. That's what the reading's about. I usually start with a heavy past, but there's a lot of heavy past. I'm gonna still see where it starts, but I did the dice part first. I'm about to tell you the whole thing, but I wanted to know from you, what is it that you want from this reading? And the reason I'm asking you is because, number one, the reading doesn't exactly fit your situation. Because you don't have a relationship. You have a relationship with him, but you are not in a relationship with him. And the reading is for two people that are in a relationship. So because of that, it has gray areas. So I wanted to know what you want out of this reading. Okay. All right. Because I do have a reading that is called Mind Read. Okay. It sounds like expressing a lot of it stresses you out. Don't worry about it. It's okay. I just wanted, I kind of see, okay. Understood. You just want to know whatever the hell you can know that's going to give you some comfort and clarity. Okay, not a problem. Let me tell you what's going on. He's a water sign and he's moody. No matter what people say about, you know, water signs, one being more moody than the other, that's not true. They're all moody. It's just that they show it different. Scorpio goes through moods and phases, whereas Cancer will go through several moods in one day, and Pisces will go through several moods in a week. Okay, but they're all moody. The mood he's in right now is very interesting because this is one of the few times I've seen that he is absolutely not in love with his ex. There is void of feeling there. Interesting. That is new because there's always been something. So that emptiness and detachment is very good. The hard part is that and you have to realize you have to take readings, especially with a water sign male. Take it in pieces. Okay, it's right. So the next part that is very current of these times is that when it comes to you, there are two main variables, two main reasons, not variables, reasons, why he is needing you and wanting to be with you. Operative word being with. So one is the physical, because there's a bond and there's chemistry, but then there's also this familiarity and there's an understanding and all of that, a pattern and all of that, and the other one is emotional. The way that you seem to get him and the way that you make him feel when you're there for him. Not the same thing the other way around. That would complicate it because he finds you complicated. But he's not in love with you at this time. The danger that I see in this reading is that he is about to meet someone he can fall in love with. He's going to meet a person very soon. And he can fall in love with her. And you can feel extremely lost and empty when that happens. Because it catches you off guard. And it can throw you into a whirlwind of emotions, one with temper, one with disgust, one with emptiness. And you don't have to live through that. There's a lot of things that can be addressed and done, that don't cost anything, that you can do it yourself. It's preparation, it's avoiding the issue. If, for example, let's say, I don't know your schedule or anything, but let's say that you and him were going to, spend a week together, or just as an example, because I heard there was some kind of travel coming up between both of you that you said. Using that as an example, you don't have to give your all, because what you can't do is feel used and cheap, So, you can also wait and postpone, I don't know what you want to do. You can also just decide to harden that part of yourself. And only give the percentage that he's giving. So that's what is right now at play. That's the most important, eminent part that I see coming in the future, in the near future. So 2026, and the clock starts now. So a couple of months, and this catches him by surprise as well. Now, if I were reading his astrology, which is not necessary, I could tell you when exactly and more detail on it. But that's kind of weird. Like, why get into what it's going to be when he meets someone? Why don't you just avoid it? How would you do that? Well, by making sure he doesn't lose focus on you. And the way to do that is to start showing him a part of you that, he's always wanted to see, but it's difficult because when you're honest and open and relaxed with him, it scares him and bothers him. When you're well put together and composed and strong and you're the ear that he's leaning on, then you're wonderful and fabulous. But whenever you've shown any kind of weakness, he doesn't want to take it. Well, that's not fair. So, let's get into the reading. We'll see where it starts. Mm-mm. You with the magic. Let me go in another direction because I'm not going to touch that. Let's just skip over that topic, okay? Not going right. Let's go on to another area, okay? Let's go on to the focus, how it opens. Okay, better. Okay. All right. Okay, so this talks about an argument. This is where we start in the past. I thought it was something with the ex and the daughter. No. This is with you. So this is where the reading begins. So if I never read for you before and I was doing this reading on the relationship problem, the format would be that I would open up the past. I've done that with you already a couple of times, I think twice, where you met and how it, how it unfolded. I've done that. So I can catch the problem. So this time it's not a full past. It's where the problem started. So this is a recent argument, and this was stone cold stuff. So this is hard words said. I thought you guys were in good standing. So if an argument doesn't have to entail yelling, but it can be hard words, and it can also be a person in a mood that just says, I'm not letting you in. I'm not trusting you. I'm just going to be very simple words. So this is an issue, and this has to do with a decision and pressure. So I thought you guys were in really good standing and you were going to visit, but this shows me that there's been trouble, so was this a long time? Well, this is recent past, so it couldn't have been a long time ago. Is this argument still going on, or have you repaired from this argument? Okay. All right. So since that was the problem point, now let's go ahead and see what else we need to know. All right, so this is a little bit too, how should I say, does not, the topic that's coming up doesn't fit my stream content being very G-rated. So there's something here that's being brought up in the love life, and it has to do with you. So how should I say it? It just seems like there's two other people. I don't know. I think we'll leave that comment for later, because I just is getting into something that I don't know how to explain it. It's being brought up because the underlying issue, the underlying importance of this is a love connection. So things that have to do with love and lovers and things like that, come up. Conversations and different things, but I just need to move to something else. All right. I do have to address some of it, okay? Are you aware that, so remember that this is a relationship problem, but you really want to be in a relationship, but you're just trying to fix the one that you've got with him, which is not official, but it's still ongoing and it's heavy and it's your focus area. So because of this awkwardness and me trying to address problems in it, I have no choice but to shine a light on what bothers him. I don't know if you're aware, maybe you are, where your retaliation and your stubbornness because he doesn't get with the program and commit to you, I don't know if your fieriness or rebelliousness to teach him a lesson or to one-up him or to show him, it's kind of closed a door. So let me put it this way. If you, every time that you have told him that you would be, seeing other people or stuff like that, that kind of theme, that kind of thing, and you would think that he's just okay with it, what happens is that you were recategorized. So if you would have never done that, he would have eventually been your boyfriend. The fact that, and this is probably where you get upset, probably thinking, no, it doesn't bother him. We've been over it 1,000 times. Like, you know what you're talking about? Like, no, he doesn't care. He does. But it's not a jealousy standpoint. It's almost like, well, that's what she does and that's who she is. And it's almost like it bothers him, but it's like he's not going to, there's a silent pride too. All I'm saying is the whole goal is for him to fall in love with you and commit to you and forget about everybody else. That's the goal. And one of the most important things that I see that's been an obstacle is the way you've handled yourself, kind of like showing him, that, well, he didn't commit and you live your life and you could do what you want. Oh, well, and so could he. And it's almost like, no, he might say it's fine and it's not fine. And it's not like he's going to convince you to not to. He knows that you do, and that's it, or have, I should say. It still bothers him. And it's almost like, I don't know why this is coming in as something so strong that bothers him. It's also what he wonders too. In many ways, in that part of your life, you seem secretive and not graspable the way that, or that's not even a word. I just don't know what to say. It's how to explain it. The things he wonders to himself about you, there's a lack of trust in that way. That you're secretive, almost like, you know, like the preacher's daughter or the wild child. Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah. From your perspective, and from realistically, that you've done nothing wrong. You don't do anything wrong. But from his, excuse me. Sorry. But from his, he doesn't see it the same way. He has a daughter. And it's not just that he has a daughter. I mean, you are younger, but that's not, it's weird. The way he thinks about it is weird. I mean, okay, it's not weird. It's actually healthy. The way that he thinks about it is the way that a man should. But it's weird that he would not say it. It's bothering him, and it's showing up in the reading. And we have to kind of like... Right. Exactly. That's why it's showing up. Because it's an area that needs to be fixed. And it can cause damage. And the way that you're living your life and the choices that you're making, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, it fits your lifestyle. You're young and you're just living your life. And you don't have anybody that is, you know, committed, that you have rules to follow, and you don't have any of those but your own rules. And you've given him a bunch of chances. Yeah, that's fine. But you are a risk taker, though. That's who you are. That's how you are. You need to live on the edge. That's who you are. You're drawn to it. The way that he's thinking about it is, but you know, not that we're getting into this part, because I don't feel comfortable telling you about you. You notice that I don't do readings where I tell the client about the client, because I don't feel comfortable. I'm not gonna. I don't have, you know. That's not what I do. But it's very obvious to me that one of the reasons why you invite danger is because you feel that nobody loves you. So, and it's out of anger, and it's out of a lot of misplaced feelings. That's a whole other thing. So the way that he thinks about it is that it's created this unspoken about place of mistrust. It's the way that he has seen you, like someone who's more manipulative, someone who's more uncontrollable, and someone who he'd rather take a leap to nowheresville, if you know what I mean, if he could see his daughter turn out that way. And he thinks about these things. And why is that? Well, because he's a father. Or if he has a son, it would be the same thing. what he would want the sun not to attract, or what he would want the sun not to live through. Unfortunately, he has these older thoughts. People that have children think in a parent-like way, and they put that into a lot of their thoughts. And people that don't have kids, they think differently. So unfortunately, yes, he does attribute some of those thoughts, and they are here, and it's bothering him, and it's uncomfortable for him. And instead of wanting to protect you, instead of wanting to rescue you and be chivalrous the way that, part of him might be sleeping, but it is in him. He's confused about how to feel about it and what to do about it. And there's a cynical edge to the way he thinks about it as well. And the way that it makes him feel and think wedges more of a space between both of you, when he should be mature about it and realize that if he loved you and treated you the way that you needed, you wouldn't do that. He doesn't understand you. I'm not saying I understand you. I don't know you, but I'm just saying the way it seems here. What I see in this situation that he has done so far is that he has, there's a selfish overtone as to how he has taken to you. And what do I mean by that? Well, there's selfless, where you think through the situation and you think above it. Like, let's say a best friend of yours, just an example, is telling you off for 3 days straight and is being very mean. Love is when you know that person and you're just like, they've never acted this way before. You can either get offended and tell them off and say, stop it. Or you can say, are you really pissed? What really happened to you? I know you're not like this. So you think through the situation, above it, and this is something that he should do to you. What's wrong with you? Talk to me. Why are you doing this? And show love and care. And there's the way that he's taking it, the way that he's thinking about it. There's uncomfortable things here. So there's a level of cynicism, judgment, things like that. And that's why I'm saying to you, I don't like the direction. Now, he's also vindictive too, which is also very complicated. Because he also feels that if you behaved in a certain way for him, then he would matter more. But then again, he hasn't earned that. Everything that the way he's behaving doesn't merit what, Oh, thank you so much, Julia. You are too. He doesn't merit that. All right, changing this. All right. So the direction that this is taking is something vulnerable. And And here I'm thinking I haven't done my hair, I have no makeup on, and I look pasty. My zodiac sign, I'm a unicorn. That is my zodiac sign. You can guess it though. Get one try. My rising sign is mermaid, and my moon sign is alien. Okay, there is a way to correct this, sort of. I mean, you guys are very complicated, but there is a way to correct it. It's kind of playing to his fatherly, mushy side, which you can get to. If it upsets you or rubs you the wrong way, then obviously, you know, that won't work. But it's leveling with him. You see, when you get him in the mode of, I want your advice, you know, your wisdom, you know, I did this because of this, and I'm being vulnerable, and I'm opening up to you, and this is what I feel, and these were my fears, and you kind of like seem like you're having this big opening up thing, and he's like, oh, okay. There's the comforting side. There's the parental comforting. I'm there for you, and I have the answer, and I'll fix you, right? So that type of control caters to his manly, I'm going to be mushy side. It kind of switches it on. It's not manipulative, because that's fake and that's not good, but it is true in a way. I mean, when you think about it, you do yearn for, you know, a lot of, you know, you and him butt heads. You're very stubborn, and he'll be vindictive and quiet and cynical, and you'll go in a different direction and shut him out. And then, you know, and there's just such a tug of war sometimes. And in this particular case, I'm not saying that this is what you have to do. This is not the only solution, but this is a viable option, and this is one direction that seems to soften the blow. And it's coming to him in ways that he has come to you, and you've been there for him, because I see that that's one of the reasons why he's drawn to you, like I said before. So this is something you can consider. Is asking for indirectly just for him to feel intelligent. For some reason, this is a trigger for him to be comforting, is whenever he feels like you put him on the spotlight where he has to give you the answer, he has to give you the solution, he has to give you the advice, and he feels smarter than you. You know, he already has a self-esteem thing. So when you pamper that and you twitch that on, this works for you very well with him. It may drive you up a wall, I don't know, but this works. So that's one thing. Let's see. Now, the big problem that I see, and I think that we can, you know, I would say, you know, to fix the biggest problem, I would say that the space that he is in right now, the headspace that he's in at this time, with thinking about you, with thinking about how he feels in his life right now, you know, this is all correlated and in sync together. I think if he were in a different mood, things would change, but I think it's how things have played out and have led to right now. This will cool off, but I would say the biggest worry and concern coming up is this new person that he's going to meet. That's not okay, because this can completely, you know, no matter what you guys have, you still have a connection, you still work, you know, you still have something going on between each other. It's still there. And for this to come in and change, that's hard. That's drastic. So I don't know what direction you want me to take in the reading. There's still more time left. Do you want me to look more into what specifically he feels about things? Did you want to ask me about, you know, a specific event? Or I don't know where you want me to go in this direction, you know, with this read. Because I feel I've addressed the heart of it, but there's still a big chunk of it left. So how can I help you? I used to play a lot of music in the background. I always had a playlist going on. And then I started streaming on another platform, and then the copyright violations are always annoyed when I upload the archive. So that's why, in case you're wondering why it's so quiet. Okay. Okay, it's hard to think when you're anxious. I understand that. So all right, I'm gonna everything that has to do with you and him when it comes to the answering the reading and you know, addressing the most important parts and the warning that came in, that part's been done. But if you want, because I always honor the time, I can take a look at your horoscope, okay, and see if take a look at it and see with love specifically. I'm just looking for love stuff, and see what kind of stuff I see, okay, and that will close the reading, because we've addressed everything with him. I do miss the music though. It's so quiet. I love quiet, but music is, I don't know, it's nicer in the background. At least I live in a quiet place, so there's a lot of quiet. I remember it's May 4th, and I remember the year, I think 97? No, 92? I don't remember the year. 3, okay, yeah. I try, I have a lot of data in my head. It takes a little bit. Chicago, was it? Okay. I remember the time, but I don't remember if it was PM. Yeah, you were born at night. Yeah, I remember now. Yeah, I got it. All right, here we go. And I need to run, I have to add some things to this chart. Zero two dot decimal comma 1216 888. Hang on, I have a couple more codes I need to put in. Okay, here we go. Let's see. I could see. Yeah, you have. There's a very intense, you're going to be going through some of that weird, I should say, phase a little bit longer, and then it'll pass. You can fight it though. Okay, that is. Let me see something. Very, very soon, in the next month, sooner than that, you do know there's a man that's going to be interested in you, right? That can be your boyfriend. I don't think you'll be interested in him, maybe. But it's a possibility if you want it in your life. This is somebody coming in that will be very interested in you, and what they bring to the table is very genuine. So the qualities that you would want. There's a conflict in the way that you're feeling, and you're caught up in something else. What you feel and where you're at is different than what's coming to you. You know, you take the opportunity, but let me take a peek here for a little bit different time. Let's go into January. Okay, so by mid-January, that opportunity passes. So it's from, the clock starts today, and it goes It's just an opportunity. It's kind of like, you know, a job offer comes in. You know, you either want it or you don't, and it's something that came for you. But I'm scanning stuff for love, relationships that are worth it. You know, so it's a time sensitivity. Someone expressing interest or wanting more. I'm looking for anything coming up that's very, very important. Okay, well, this is around the time. Yeah, so there's going to be some troubling stuff emotionally with love and the Scorpio in mid-January. Around like the 17th, 18th. I don't want to get into a lot of like things that'll confuse you, because like if I start reading the horoscope and stuff, it's like everywhere, where I tightened everything up the right way with tarot. This I'm just looking, because horoscopes are very drawn out. You know, and this will happen and this will it's a lot, it's overwhelming, and you're already with anxiety, so I don't want to stress you. I'm just looking for important hits like boyfriend, relationship openings, good things. It's just that in particular is a little bit rough. So it's okay. So I do see at the end of February or beginning of January. Let me move this timer along 1 second. I gotta see when this is. I gotta clock it. Let me see something so I can let you know. Right where it is. Yeah. Okay. It's February. Move this a little bit further. All right. So this is a very important time, is going to be around the February 25th. And I believe that the guy this is talking about shows here is the Scorpio. So there's, you know, some smoochies time. That's what it would be, but it would be, so the drawing to each other picks up, but you got to be careful, because around this time, that's when I said, I don't think I gave a timing for, I said the next couple of months, but it talks about you with high desire for him in particular, for something. So as long as it's reciprocated, and I see that there, at this point, it may not be. So you know ahead of time, whatever disconnection you're feeling by mid-January with him, or at least the beginning of February, address it, because the ending of February can bring, you know, hurtful space and weighs heavy on you. So if you don't let that happen, because this is more like a nonchalant attitude beforehand, so if you address it before and are more tender, like close, you will prevent it. You'll know it when you see it, you'll know it when you get there. It's kind of hard to explain. I'll check one more month because I want to see if there's anything very important with love. I'm looking for something very particular. That would be not yet. No. So in March, no. A little bit chaotic in March. So I think it's the two things is more current. I look for relationships when I read fast. I look for things that will lead to romance, things that lead to a solution. Those were the things that I saw. So it's the one interest, another one that's, if you want to consider them. But I guess you'll cross that bridge. Right now, you're very stressed out. I would say the thing with the Scorpio is not over, but it hasn't started where it has to. Some of it's drawn out. It goes back and forth, like I said. You need each other in certain ways. But at some point, you gotta elevate and get it going, But hopefully you can get it right, especially if he still has that trip, to see you, hopefully. But the story with him is a bit confusing. I don't know all of it, but no, don't even worry about that. Just try to, doesn't he have a trip with you coming up or well, you don't have to answer that. Like I said, I don't like to ask anybody any questions or anything or put them on the spot. I was just trying to deliver the information that, to address certain things so that they don't get worse. That's all. I think the one thing that I'm very, I want you to be aware of the most of everything is that in the next couple of months, he's going to meet someone that, like I said before, and I would hate for you to let it, stress you and bother you because it's shocking that he would just tell you or something like that. And this time it would be very different. He's looking for a change anyway, not from you, but just the way he's feeling, this detachment, this detachment that he feels. It's weird how I'm seeing that in him. Usually he's very just like in a pattern. He'll be upset and withdraw a little bit, but he just continues. This time is something like different. So, is there anything else you need me to ask, or you need me to clarify, or you're not sure about? Let me know, please, and I will address it. Are you okay? I don't want to pry or anything like that. It's not my place. I don't want to make anyone feel uncomfortable. But I just, I still care. Okay. All right, sweetheart. All right, if you have any questions, you can always email me. Okay? Thank you so much. All right. Okay, guys, I do have Lydia and Lyria, and I don't know those other names. If you guys have Okay, Olivia is asking, everything ends in Ia tonight. The names I called. Hi, Olivia. Nice to meet you. Okay, you said, I'd like to know if someone took my luck away. It's interesting the way you say that. Luck is able to be stolen, but it's not easy, and it would have to be specifically magical practice, especially of a closed practice. If you haven't tampered with anything or dealt with anyone magical, don't even worry about that stuff. Yeah. So if you're very involved with the magical community or magical people, then, you know, are you heavily involved in magical crowds and people and stores and shop owners and people involved in magic? So you were probably wondering why I don't just ask, right? Why don't I just ask with the runes or the dice or the tarot? Because when I open a door, so when I do free readings, like free answers to people, I usually do love and career. Anytime I'm approached with anything magical, because I am a magical practitioner, I have a different process for that. And I don't do those for free. But I am willing to give you beneficial information to point you in the right direction. So if I go ahead and ask and I open that spiritual door to find out what happened, I have now personally become involved in that energy. And it can then leave me with a difficult cleanse and all those things, which I don't want to do. I don't feel like it. When I charge a person to remove it, I'm a magical practitioner and I specialize in magic. I specialize in hex removing. In readings and divination for people, I focus on love. You know, like I'm a love astrologer, a tarotist. I focus on love readings. But in magical practice, in my business, not in my skill level, but in my business, the biggest stuff that I do is I remove hexes of all kinds. No matter how dark, no matter what, there's no limit. That's what I do. I remove them. And if I'm going to get involved in finding out someone that comes into the stream, and let's say you have a shitload of stuff done to you and all that, I'm not opening up that can of worms spiritually, naked, without amulets, without my stuff that I need to do, spiritually vulnerable. I'm not doing that. Hell no. I know too much. There's no way. So if a client comes to me and does a spell consultation, that's a whole different ballgame. I will address it and then I will be ready to do whatever it is I need to do to the home, to the car, to all the things. It's not a little sage, a little egg is not going to do jack shit. When you open that up, I've had readings that I do where jewelry pops, things, glasses pop. I'm ready. I could do anything. I don't care. That's what I do for a living. It doesn't spook me. Nothing spooks me. But if you are tampering with stuff, I've had a lot of people come to me where they are in a frightening situation because they've gotten into some kind of magical WAR with magical people on certain platforms. And I'm going, why are you coming to me? And they're like, you just seem nice. Can you help me? I'm like, oh God, okay. And I used to get a lot of clients that way. I would end up with their, you know, you did now and you did what? And you sent it back and then she sent it back and what are you doing? Just stop the insanity. So, yeah. So if you feel that you are targeted that way, I'm not touching it unless you become a client. then it's a whole different ballgame. So what I can do for free is give you tips. One of the things that I find most common is that a lot of people psychosomatically believe that they've been targeted magically. A lot of times it's their own fear. Most of the time it's just them believing that psychosomatically, and they're just stressed out. And a lot of times a little bit is fine. Okay, so then you're targeted by that. Okay, so if you're targeted by that, then you came to the right place if you become a client. But as far as me asking and finding out for free, I'm not touching that. A cleansing for me can range anywhere from 1900 and up. So if a person was meant to have an accident and something happens to this and this and this, and some dumbass goes, oh, I'll clean you, I'll do it. They don't know what they're doing, because then they're like eating that person's problem. No, thank you. No, thank you. I'm good. So when someone is serious about hiring me, I will be serious about taking care of it immediately. But I will charge and I will take care of it. But if it's free, I can't help it, honey. I'm sorry. And I am una santera. And my father is un babalao. I have my ocha done for 40 years. I grew up in 2 botanicas. And I am also palera. You're not going to go to anybody better than me. But if you're going to have me fix it, I charge. I ain't scared of nothing. But you have to become my client. If you hire me to do it, I'll take care of it. But if I'm not hired, I ain't touching it. You have Santo for 20 years. I have Santo for 40 years. My father's a babalao. And I'm also madrinquisa. So, what can I tell you? I don't know what you're asking. I don't know what you're saying, sweetie. Am I answering questions? Yes, I am. I'm doing dice readings. I can answer yes and no. If you want to book a tarot, I do love and career. Danny is asking, is Ricky good for you? I would say no. I would say that he's headed in a direction that is focused on a lot of negativity. Things that are focused on the past, things that, you know, and it seems like you are more willing to put love effort into him. And besides, this also talks about a love situation that's not finished. This is pretty complicated stuff with love. But to answer your question simply, I would say no. If I had to be simple about it, no. No. Very simple. All right, sweetheart. Thank you so much. Okay, let's see. Mikhail, will you be in a loving relationship with the woman you need soon? What? With the woman that you need? I'm sorry. I'm not understanding the question. That threw me off. Usually it's will you be in a love relationship soon? That's like a normal question that I get all the time. But then you add these other things and it's like, what? I can't, you know. Yulisa, will Jesse and you talk again? Talk like romantically or speak just like speak? You're asking romantically, right? No, not romantically. No. No, this talks about the person inside their own feelings having a reverse of the feelings. So for example, let's say once they looked at you in a certain way, this person now rejects that. They outgrew it is the answer that I'm getting. Will things become more serious with Marissa? There is someone that's in love with you, and then they weren't, and then they were trying to stop the feelings and you rejected them. That's coming up in this reading. Okay, Michael is asking, so with Marissa, will they be more serious? I would say no. But there's someone very interested in you, very much so. Michael, will you be in a loving relationship with Kimmy? No, it looks like Kimmy's going to go back to their ex. This talks about someone going back to a person they've been involved with. No. Thank you so much, Third Eye Kind. Antonio, is Chanel falling for George? That's really Chanel, but that's how you say it, Chanel. All right, let's see. Is Chanel falling for George? They've been falling. They've been falling. They fell. They fell. You're welcome, sweetheart. Thank you. Okay, remember guys, I give one answer. If you want to book a reading, they're $25. Some are $20 if you want. But I do have love readings, okay? I do tarot and astrology. I'm a magical practitioner as well, but I don't really announce that kind of thing. No problem, sweetie. Not at all. I'll be on for a few more minutes because I do have a private reading to do. And then I'll be back. And I'm also going to be streaming Sunday all day. Well, it's already Sunday, but you know what I mean. Time zone. So I'll be on just for a few more minutes. I probably don't have time to do another reading right now, but I will for later on Sunday, like afternoon and then nighttime. Yes. Yes, it is. Sunday fun day. How are you doing? When do you start school? Why? Why are you scared? School is so much fun. Oh, really? They're being mean or oh no. They're just messing with you. They're just messing with you. They do that. That's what high school's about and middle school. It's immaturity. Then they'll pick on someone else. You just got to do something funny to, like, have them, But if you think it's a big concern, then, you got to tell your mom and you got to tell the school, if you think it's getting out of hand, then you gotta let the teachers and everybody know, you know? Yeah. Usually that kind of thing, if you do something funny back or you let them know, like, oh, whatever, I don't care. Or you have one of those like things like, pff, and you want me to say your name? Like if, you know, you gotta give them, a lot of times that they'll go pick on someone else. But if you really feel that it's like really getting too uncomfortable, then you do have to let the school know. Yeah. Because you know, you can't, that's not fair. So I'm sorry, sweetheart. That'll pass. You'll see. It's just silly. You'll you know. Yeah. Try to do something that'll bother them. And do the same thing to them with a group of your friends. But if you see that it doesn't work and it's really bothering you, you can't stay like that. You gotta let the adults know, you know? All right, sweetheart. Stay safe, sweetie. It's always nice to see you. Hey guys, I'm going to be popping back in. I'll be streaming Sunday afternoon and also Sunday evening, and I'll probably do some morning time as well, hopefully. So I'll be on a couple of times throughout Sunday. And all right, have a good one, guys. Love and light. See you soon. Bye.